spill something?
Oh no.
I look at how they build a municipality.
Yeah.
When I look at it, it gives me a righteous wrath. Because I don't want it to be a wicked wrath. I mean, it's a righteous wrath to see that how elegant they were smart in what they did. They built the municipalities off the back of the Moors.
All right.
How they did it was, let's get these Moors in here and get them in amity, get them in dishonor, and then they go in dishonor, we sue them, and we create a bond, and we go and just build these buildings up.
Yes.
We'll build, and then as we build the institutions, then we'll let them join our institutions, and we'll teach them our laws, our falsehood.
No, they will put them under color of law.
Right.
Yes.
In actuality, that's the more scientific supposed to be doing.
Because the deal is, it's honor and dishonor. That's the whole crux of this thing. Honor and dishonor. And what is our problem basically as a people? We have dishonored our mothers and our fathers because we have strayed from the principles of our mothers and fathers. The Europeans have hidden and used our principles under what they call Masonry, and actually preserved the science of Islam, and they're actually running the world with it. Our culture. We keep looking at it from a third-party perspective. Then when they do look at it, talking about our people, we keep looking at it from the ritual perspective, not understanding that it's actually walking around that clock, understanding all the constellations, signs, and energies, etc., that people have given idol god images that are actually simply powers of the signs and the planets and the lords of the planets as the sun traverses through the constellations, i.e. the zodiac, which is the law of the Moors, which is why they have it right there in the middle of the courtyard, right at the battleground of City Hall. You know, and so my point that I'm really making is, the more and more you talk about this, the more and more you recognize that we keep making this thing complex. We keep allowing them to make it complex. Which means, how are you going to redeem that child if you keep allowing them to make this thing complex? And it doesn't mean that we can't analyze this logistically. I'm not denying that, never did deny it. I reject making this thing complex because it's not. In making it complex, we're almost like supporting the very thing that keeps burying us. No, he's the mayor of this particular corporation.
Yeah, I understand he's the mayor of the corporation.
And so I'm not saying so-called, you know, I'm only saying, you know, he's the mayor of this corporation.
He's the CEO of the corporation.
Yeah, CEO of this particular corporation.
What I'm saying is that, like the more scientific, shouldn't the more scientific meet with them?
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. There you go again. Shouldn't they? And don't they have that obligation? And haven't they failed in that obligation?
I think they know. Is this somebody more scientific than the mayor of them? Yeah. What is scientific? Deputy mayor. Deputy mayor. Not me. What was the topic going on with break yourself out of it?
No, it was about them stopping, you know, just everything, any infractions they had against Moors. That's what it's about. It's ongoing.
Yes. It is their duty and responsibility to have been addressing it, and that you say that that's what they're doing now?
Well, that's what they did. I don't know the outcome.
But he's more scientific, but outside, he's not really, you know my thing.
Yeah. But I'm really trying to get the gist of.
He met with the deputy mayor, and they was discussing all the auto stops. Anybody got beat up, everything. He's trying to come with a class action suit eventually. But he just brought a lot of the violations that they have been doing to them first, to see if they could sort it out and tell us how people do when they run across one of us, you know, our status, stuff like that. I don't know where they at right now with it, but it's on videotape, so I'll make sure I get you a copy.
Oh, good. Yeah, do that. Because this is the whole point. Even while that may be legitimate in its intended action, it should be a Congress much lids called, and just like we congress, and then we appoint him as an ambassador or consul to meet with them, then it makes it internationally legitimate. Whereas if he's inspired to do it, then that's just simply a citizen's act, legitimate in itself, but not having the sovereign sanction of the nation, because you've got to have 3 or more people, and it has to be put in public notice.
Well, yeah, it was. It was 4 of them that week.
Yeah, but I'm saying it has to be put in public notice for the nations. I mean, it can't be done and then the nation not be informed, because then he's removed from an ambassador or ministerial position.
So now you're talking about the confusion.
No,
I'm talking about the brothers, because we got brothers in the Moorish Science Temple. We got brothers outside the Moorish Science Temple run their own thing. They running into what you call a jealousy game.
no, they're power struggle and power game. And all I'm saying to you, this is what I'm saying to you. For them to have the power that really implies is just like, say, simply, like, say you film this, right? And we're setting us to go down there. And you post it on a website for its public view. And we invoke the Moorish National Republic and then go down there. You're legitimate. Even if the Grand Sheiks didn't do it. And that's really what I'm implying. Although we shouldn't have to do that. By necessity, if you have to move, that's called citizens' rights. It's like a citizen's arrest. But you still must make it public. You can't do it in secret and then report. In other words, what I'm saying, while we're complaining about persons in positions of authority not doing what they're supposed to do, when we take our stand and do it too, particularly on the sovereignty of the nation, then we must do it accordingly to the same principles of law that we're complaining that they don't carry out. And you have that right to do. But don't fail to give public notice, because it makes your stand legitimate. It's sort of like people saying that they did something representing the nation and didn't make it public notice, then that's just a private act. And this is where we're weak in some areas as we begin to analyze how they're putting unalienable rights into a commercial venue, and then we make arguments in as individuals, and that's fine, you can do it, but then that's the individual power as an individual, but you're neutralized in the power of the sovereignty of the nation, because you're not acting in a consular position, and you're not announcing your action in a consular or ministerial position. Now, when they abridge it and you're going to sue or something, because the jurisdiction would be Constitution and treaties, you know, and then even like when you stepped up relative to the brother, you took a consular position, and they had no counterclaim because you stood on your square, and rightly so. But then they didn't have any authority to really question. But if they did have authority, they could try to see who posted you in that representative position